Good to go, Lenny.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate you coming to this. Oh, you already started it. You got it started, Charles?
Got it going.
Okay, cool. Wasn't sure. Welcome, everybody, to our opening ceremony, if you will, to get in the Olympic spirit. This is our opening ceremony for solar for the Commonstead. Appreciate you all coming today. My name is Lenny Fairfield. I'm overseeing residential solar at the Commonstead. So I'm your go-to if you have any questions, concerns, help you with projects, whatever you need. I'm here to help learning the system that we're going to be using in great detail, just so I can have all the mistakes worked out for you guys before they ever come up. So appreciate y'all being here. I see we have a lot of pros here. This obviously is a meeting, not obviously, this meeting is actually for connectors. On a regular basis, it's going to be 3 o'clock every Wednesday for connectors. So this is where you pros want to send your people, okay? Yes, you want to also send them to Ashley's 1 o'clock, I'm sorry, I think it's 1 o'clock meeting on Mondays, so they can get integrated into the system with Commonstead and understand how the whole situation works. But if they're going to be focusing on door knocking or marketing or anything like that, you want to send them to here. This is a great place you guys can come to. You're always welcome. Obviously, we'll have tons of questions from these people. Connectors are probably the lifeblood of our entire industry. The people who are able to get the leads are the ones who should make the most money in the industry, frankly. So we want to encourage all of you, if you're connectors, to connect and start connecting. Leads, I'm going to put in some links in the chat. So you're going to want to make sure that you have the chat open so you can open some of those, the main one being the leads, how to put in a lead. Charles, did you want to say anything in the opening?
Absolutely well said. And we're going to start promoting this more heavily now that I think we've got some of the kinks worked out between us and our partners. We just got off a meeting a few minutes ago with one of our primary EPC partners. So as we feel more comfort, then we're going to really start going heavier into promoting into this group. Thank you, pros, for being here. I do want to share a few things after we do some general Q&A with Lenny. Kind of show the screen and walk you through a few things that we've got going on. But mainly, we're here for you. And Lenny's going to be hosting these every week and actually, when are you starting your daily meetings as well for pros only?
Daily tomorrow. Yeah, thank you
for
bringing that up.
Okay.
Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern time, so 8 a.m. Pacific. I'm going to do a daily open office hours for me, just for pros, not for connectors, but for pros, because we want to make sure that the connectors are just connecting people. We want to keep them focused and connecting people with pros, and then the pros, if they have questions on projects and stuff, can come see me. I'm also available all the time. I'll put my contact information in here. Please, actually, I'm not going to, because you guys already have it. Everyone that I know needs it. What I am going to do is share my screen real quick. And I want to show you.
Plus, they know how to book on your calendar now too, Lenny. Or they'll know today after this, won't they?
Yep, exactly. Preview, yeah, calendar is always a good idea. I'm looking, hold on. I haven't shared my screen in so long. Oh, there we go. So this is the back office of the Commonstead communication area. I wanted to show you this because, as you can see, we have a residential solar area right here. You can literally come here anytime you want, and you can ask questions. This is going to be a place for everybody for solar. You can see I have some general information out here, like, Seamless Finance. Seamless, just so you know, Seamless Energy is one of our main EPCs that we deal with, and they'll all be out here eventually. But I want you guys to see what their situation looks like. So this is always, ever since I've been in solar, this has been one of the main things I've always gone to. Okay, I'm going into a certain state. What products can I sell in that state? And this link that I just clicked on, which again is at the Commonstead. Okay, I have a post right here. It says Seamless Energy Finance Options by State. Clicked on it, and it opened up that one. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so if I'm in, let's say, Florida, I can go to Florida and I can say, okay, this is what I have available in Florida. Okay, Good Leap Loan, TPO, Sunlight Loan, Light Reach, Concert, Enfin, and Soulright. Those are all available. These people have serious financial connections. And once I get you guys signed up, I'm sorry, I remember who I'm talking to. We're also going to be opening in this area a section for pros only. So just for pros to go to, just that's coming, just know. Okay. But you can come out here anytime you want as a connector and ask questions. Okay. That way you have a multitude of people who can answer them rather than just me. Um, Although I'll probably be the one that most likely answers them. This gives opportunity for other people and gives the opportunity for you to get to know pros and things like that. Also want to, if you don't know how to get that, please reach out to the person who sent you here and they can show you how to get connected on it. With connectors, the main thing you want to know, your job as a connector is literally to get leads. Okay. You want to get leads. That's literally all you do. Leads, what a lead is basically is you have any kind of communication and confirmation or some kind of relationship with a person who wants to look at solar being is great as a starting point, but I would argue that probably some of the reduce before you produce might be a better way to go. That's something you need to get in the trainings with the Commonstead for, just to make sure that you understand what I'm talking about. But for solar, generally, you just want to get the lead, get the information, have a good conversation with customers, and then get their power bill. Okay. You're going to hear me say that so many times in every one of these trainings. Your job as a connector is to get the power bill. If you can get the power bill, you can actually put it in as a lead on the Commonstead, and then you can, I'm looking for it. You can actually do a lead for the Commonstead. Do you have that link, Charles? I thought I had
I
it.
sure do. I'll steal screen and show you a couple things in addition to what you're doing.
Yep. I'll go ahead and you go ahead and share screen and kick me out, I think.
Good. You're good.
Yep. There we go. Okay. So who here, let's ask you this question real quick before you go, Charles. If you're a connector, can you put a 1 in the comments just so I know who we're dealing with here? And just so you know, connectors, and put where you're from too. I'm sorry. Where you're at, connector, where you're at. 1 in the comments. Oregon, nice.
Just getting ready to go live, baby.
Yep. Very good. Okay, so we have a couple here, a few here anyway. North Carolina representing. Awesome. Kristen, you're a connector as well?
Yes, sir.
Florida. Awesome.
Been in solar for 4 years.
Nice. That's great. All right, good. So we have 5 or 6 on here right now. That's awesome. What questions? I mean, Charles, do you want to go first? You want me to just open questions?
Yeah, I'll do that because I got a couple things to show, and then let's just open Q&A. How's that?
Go for it. Yep.
Work for you? Okay.
Perfect.
I'm here to support Lenny, and this is his biome, but there are things moving so quickly that for the foreseeable future, maybe the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, I want to be here, and I'll be more of a fly on the wall starting next week, which is great. Lenny's doing a phenomenal job getting the pro set up inside our platform. But for all of you who are connectors, I want to kind of share with you a few things and look at the bigger picture. And this is also going to be a tool for Lenny. So I'm going to go to the main deck. And then Lenny, I'm going to share something with you that is ready that you haven't heard yet. Multiple, you got to stop sharing for me to do that. Actually, I can do it. I can replace. I got it.
Okay.
Got it. All right. So just kind of let's take a minute and talk about what's happening behind the scenes. Take a look at the coverage map. I want you to see what's happened just in the last 2 weeks. We've been negotiating with multiple other national EPCs, and we now have coverage in, I believe it's 36 states. They'll all be live by the end of next week. The original coverage map that you saw was 25 states, 26 states. So you can see we're growing that map quickly. So Oregon is going to go live by the end of next week. So Dave, you can start connecting in your own backyard. How about that? The playbooks that are there, if you're a connector and you're looking for how do I do prospecting, a couple of ways to recommend. Prospecting 101 is the handbook that's on playbook.thecommonstead.com. And if you want to learn more about solar, go to Solar Mastery, and that's on playbook.commonstead.com. I want to talk about the money. This is redundant for some of you, but we all got to be on the same page. Lenny talks about it all the time. The key for you as a connector, So now you can make more money than anybody in the company by being a connector. A pro has to do a lot more work to get that deal closed and through install than you have to do on the connector side. So your role is as important as the pro, but you can actually make more money because all you're doing is opening those doors. You got to get the electric bill, and why you have to get that is covered in the Solar Mastery course. Be sure to go through that. It's important. In terms of some of the other things we do, I think it's important to know what just went live. This has been one of the biggest pain points, I think, for people. You now have the ability to book your pro. I'm going to take you over to another screen and walk you through how that works. If I can pull that up here. Oh, I had to reboot my system. That's right. Let me do this. Leads. Sorry, I thought I had this pulled up. I literally had to go to reboot between my meetings here, and I forgot to re-put this in here. Actually, let me go do something. Pull my screen back up.
I got it.
You got it? All right, so hold on.
I got that one, yeah.
What I want to show, though, is really, really important. And Lenny, so if you can pull that up, by all means, go for it. I'm going to go back to pull up a couple other things while you share screen. Show the leads form, and I'll take back over after that. So you should be able to share screen.
You got to get out first, I think. Still let me send request.
Here, you go for it. You got it. Sorry about that, Gal. I got to pull everything back up. I'll be ready.
Okay, so leads.thecommonstead.com is where the leads form is. This is where you want to go whenever you get a lead. And as connectors, just a side note, and I think all the pros will appreciate this. Whenever you have a lead, yeah, I'm gonna talk about that later. I'm sorry. So type of customer, residential, commercial, customer name, customer email, address, all your information in there. Product interest. This is a form that's for everybody. So solar's not even on here yet. It will be soon. As soon as I text Ashley. And then your information. So you're the primary contact, right? Oh, I'm sorry, here, your information. Put your information in, network link. Your network link, just so you know, is on the Commonstead. So once you get a Commonstead account, right here on the Commonstead dashboard, you can see it says network link, okay? Copy that, and then you paste it into the form. And now I'm not gonna be able to find the form again. Got too many things open. I need to reboot, Charles.
That's what I had to do.
Oh gosh, I'm not even gonna try and find it again. Okay, so lead form, you put that information in, and then you select your closer. I'm sorry, your pro. So when you go to the pro, it's pros.thecommonstead.com, and you select your pro. Once you put in the lead, you want to then reach out to the pro on each one of those things. And let me type that in real quick just so I can have it. Pros.thecommonstead.com. Nope. I don't know why it's not.
We had too many meetings today, Lenny. We did this with everything open, which normally have all my browsers where they need to be.
There we go. So if I'm in here and I go into this pros section, I can actually go to residential solar. Okay. Here's all the closers for residential solar. I can select somebody. This guy's pretty good, I heard. Okay. And that takes you to their calendar link. So all of in order to be a pro with the Commonstead, you have to have a calendar link. So this is where we're at. You can actually come here and, this will change from time to time, but you can come in here and click on it. You can literally go into my calendar, say, okay, Lenny's available tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Select that, and then you put your customer's information in, set up that appointment. So 2 things, right, Charles? Am I missing anything? Get the lead, get the power bill, set an appointment on the calendar of the pro that you're going to use. The third thing, reach out to the pro.
Correct. What's beautiful, though, in addition to that, and this is where I'm going to go back to sharing for a second here, Lenny, is to show you the simplicity. Because the biggest question I seem to get when we're having different meetings is, how do I choose my pro? How do I connect? How do I add information to the lead once I've got it formed? The key there is just put the lead in. And as Lenny was just sharing you, I'm going to share it as well, but show it from this perspective. Let's pretend I've got residential solar and I put in all this information, everything that I put in. Charles Thompson, nope, dang. Everything cleared. I was in a meeting with Emmett and I had to purge my system because my system froze. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you the verbal and then I'll go clean this up. When you hit next and you finish putting in the lead and you hit next again, it takes you directly to the pros page. So what I would recommend is you go to the pros page first. You've got your homeowner ready for a consultation. Find the time on the calendar of the pro that you want to work with. We'll talk about that. Then come back and put the lead in this form, leads.comstead.com, and then it will take you directly to the pros page as well. But seamlessly now takes everything, it puts it into the CRM. So you don't have to worry about entering information into the CRM, and it goes directly to the pro. The pro then gets an email notification that you have assigned them a lead, both through their calendar link and from the Comstead as well. So this is about as clean as it's going to get. The pro then will update that lead accordingly. And as with the next round here in the next 2 weeks, you're going to find that once you have that SaaS feature, you'll be able to actually see every update that takes place on your project. So in the meantime, just stay in touch with your pro. And you don't have to worry. If you have any additional information to put in, just communicate that to your pro. So once you've booked an appointment with them, they'll know they have the project. They'll stay in touch with you. They'll keep you posted along the way and make it easy. How do you find your pro? You come to this meeting and you go to other training meetings, how you learn who you really want to align with. You find out who's kind of a good fit for you and just make this super, super simple. That's it. In addition, back to the main deck, you should really be looking at your flow for the entire week, which is what I'm going to do. Then I'll shut up and just go back to Q&A. And I got to get my system completely reconfigured. It's just amazing when you reboot what you have to do sometimes. Back here, you got to also look at the big picture, right? The big picture is this is where you can tie in energy efficiency. Currently, we're doing the energy efficiency separate from solar. Lenny and I were just on a meeting with our partners. We will probably within the next 30 days fully integrate that into the entire platform. But for now, treat it as a separate transaction. Do that with whoever you're working with. They'll walk you through how to get financing. We're working on getting you cash back. So if somebody does a cash deal, you'll be able to rebate them at the end of the solar installation as well. But I think it's really important to go through these motions. Every single week, you go through the same sequence. And I'm skipping down here in slides. Your next steps are always should be this. When you go to a meeting, you should be looking at what's my next step. Next step is make sure you've gone through the onboarding. Then after you go through onboarding with Ashley, go through business development. We do that every Monday. Go through prospecting one-on-one with Carlos. That's Tuesdays. This is all on our event calendar. Check out the media page. Make sure you're fully up to speed on all new products that we have. Dive into whatever your lane is. Your lane can be solar, but you can find other things that complement solar as well. It's the whole point of being able to, as Lenny said, reduce before you produce or help that homeowner. You might even be able to help somebody who already has solar, but they're getting a true-up bill that's higher than what they thought because somebody sold them a system that was undersized. So look at the big picture here. Once you do that, you realize how valuable it is. So you get daily trainings, typically 2 to 3 times per day. Tap into those. Then make sure you've done appointment setting mastery with Ashley. This is just really bookend your week, Monday and Friday. Any of your new people, bookend their week, Monday and Friday. After that, just make sure you leave your Wednesdays at 5 open. Every Wednesday at 5, you should be with us. And the reason being is we start teaching you how to recruit on the first Wednesday of each month. We teach you how recruiting. On the second Wednesday, we cover town hall, all the updates, whatever's happened with the company, the future for the company, etc. The third Wednesday is live coaching. We all need live coaching. This is free. So you should really set aside every Wednesday at 5 p.m. to really help yourself grow personally and help your business grow as well. And then on the fourth Wednesday, we do social media training. So if you want to find out how do I get in and get some activity, get into Ashley's training on social media. So between all of that, if you do that every single week until you really feel you got everything locked in, that's how you also get the ability to train your new people. You plug them into a system that is duplicatable and scalable. And that's how you can get to saying the best is ahead. Because if you do follow that system, trust me, you will have everything you need to achieve whatever your goals are. Our goal is to have everybody earning at least 10K a month. And you can do that with one product. You can do that with different products. You can make 20K by making 10K in solar, making 10K in energy efficiency, and soon lumping the two products together. That's it. that's it for me. So Lenny has the deck now, and that's the way will end a Q&A session, but I wanted to share it now. Oh, one other thing, Lenny, if you don't mind me sharing this,
Nope.
you have asked for a master deck for presentation. So I'm going to show you where we're at in real time. And once this is done, Lenny will be able to share it with all the pros. And this is the new homeowner presentation.
Is that my deck?
That's your deck. And then
Nice.
it'll be editable. So pros will be able to take this deck and make it your own. So Lenny, in real time, here I am showing you what just came back.
Nice.
So have your
Wow.
About You page, right? Have your About You
Very
page
cool.
there. Why solar? Why now? Why the comments said? I've been using this deck for 15 years, and it has helped me sell thousands of solar deals and help others sell over 100,000 solar deals. So Lenny, you made it your own, which I love. That's what we all have the ability to do. So make these pages your own, take pictures of your own, use Lenny's until you do. Yes, you'll get a link, Bruce, for sure. Testimonials, get your own customer testimonials. Right now, Lenny's got his in there. And here you go. I'm just scrolling through how beautiful this is. Why solar?
Wow.
How about
That looks
that?
way better than what I gave her.
Lenny sent it with crayon
Goodness
markings on it.
Yeah, it was like scribbled and blood sometimes.
Always have a bill in there, before and after bill. And what you might want to do is just make sure you white out your homeowner's information on there. Right. So great job. Why now? Do all relevant things that are close to your market. And then why us? And the whole process. More testimonials. And let's see what's true for your home. That's where the proposal comes in. So your pro is going to be doing something like this, connectors. Once you see how they educate, we don't close. That's why we don't call our team members closers. They're professionals. We're going to educate the homeowner. We're going to show them the value proposition, and we're going to invite them to find a better way to get their energy rather than renting. We're going to walk them through how to own their own solar plant and control the cost of their energy. So that is now yours, Lenny. I'm sharing it with you, and you can share it as you see fit.
So just so you guys know what I did with that, I mean, all my projects were through that process, like literally the same exact presentation every single time. That's beautiful for everybody. If you say the same thing to customers all the time, you don't have to worry about what you said before. Always tell the truth. Always say the same thing. Make it repetition. I actually created a video for that using that presentation, and I would send that to customers before I had an appointment with them, so that when I showed up with the appointment, it was a different presentation. It was just getting straight down to their house. My appointments would last 30 minutes. A lot of first sit closes because of that video and that presentation. So highly recommend that.
I will drop a link in the chat. You have the ability to take that, but you have to make a copy because you can't edit this version. So make a copy and make it your own. If you make any major changes, get them to Lenny so we make sure that you're stating things correctly. We're really important about protecting the brand, and we want to make statements that we can back up. And this is for pros to be using. For anybody who's non-pro, you can at least see what's being used, but don't use this as a deck to present yet until you become a pro.
Definitely not.
Okay.
Very good. That's exciting. That was fast.
You know who to thank for that. Not me. I didn't do the work. I'm not the branding. I'm not the branding expert.
Yep. Just make a copy when you get in it, guys. Don't ask me don't request permission to edit or whatever it's asked you to do. Just make a copy. Very good. All right, so let's open it up to question and answers. Obviously, there's a lot of people on here who've been around a while, but for those of you who are new, this is your time. Don't feel bad. You're cleared. Just go ahead and open it up. Ask any questions you might have, whatever they may be. There is no stupid questions on
Hey,
a call
Lenny,
like this. Yes.
just one question. So, who exactly is the residential installer, or are there multiple installers around the country?
Yep. Great question. For you're speaking to connectors, what I'll say is that's not something you need to worry about a whole lot. Okay. You want to, and I understand, Dave, you're probably experienced. That's why you're asking that question.
Mm-hmm.
For most connectors, just get the power bill. Like, get the power bill and get connected with a pro and let them handle those kind of questions. We have multiple EPCs that are, I mean, maybe 3 EPCs that are very big that are going to be handling most of our installs. One of them being Seamless Energy. But I mean, that's mainly it. And the thing about that, Dave, that question is it's going to change rapidly. Like we're definitely in a startup mode. We're in startup. We're going to be adding more and more installers as we go. Just know if we open up a state, we're confident that we can get that project installed. That's kind of
as a setter, for years now, and I've done my own closes, but I prefer the setter position. So, or connector in this case. And a lot of times I still get the question, who's going to be installing? Because, they've dealt with, a friend of theirs has gone solar or something like that. And, so that's why I ask.
So I'm going to chime in on that because as a setter, that's a great question. I'll make sure I connect you with a pro who will be able to identify exactly who will be doing your install. All of our installers are master contractors, and they actually partner with a local contractor who will do most of the roof on your work. Why do they do that? Because they know all the ropes, they know all the permitting, they know all the nuances that are locally based. But we have master general contractors throughout the country, and we'll get that information for you when you meet up with our pro. As a connector,
Love the redirect.
as a connector, do not mention who it is because the pro may choose somebody different. We've got 3 master contractors in the country now. That pro might want to work with one of them. If you say this company, they may choose somebody different, but they'll always be installed by a local, licensed, bonded, and insured contractor. That's all that will matter. And they'll find those details out when they connect with the pro.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
one of our main missions is to bring back revenue basically to the local economies. So that's another thing that I say quite often in my presentations. I recommend using that to answer that question. We use local contractors. We want to support the communities that we serve by, bringing jobs and work to this community.
Listen to that again. Listen to that again, because you're dealing with local communities. We are one of the only companies that are having that as our mission statement, that we are driving local revenues. We're not taking them into some big company based in Washington, D.C. or anything like that. It's all about local revenues, local communities. So make sure, Lenny said, that's critical to build that into your conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're a nationwide company, very strong nationwide company, but one of our missions is to support the local economies that we serve. All right, Rachel, you have your hand raised?
2 questions. One is relating to like the links that you guys send out in this meeting. I love the community, and I don't know if they're available in there, but like the link to see who the pros are, like and the other one, like the scheduling link. Are those available somewhere in one spot on the community to access instead of like me having to go to my notes in one section and find those? Are those available somewhere in
one of the great things
spot?
one of the great things I've noticed that we're doing is we're using a lot of the commonstead.com. So things like pros, you literally can just type in a search bar, pros.thecommonstead.com, leads.thecommonstead.com. Trying to keep it as simple as possible.
Perfect.
Does that answer your question?
I can just type that into community. Is that what you're saying?
No, just on any web browser.
Or just in the. Okay.
Yeah, I put the link in the chat.
Sense.
I'm not sure if you can see that, but you can literally just type pros.thecommonstead.com and it should take you straight to that page.
Okay,
Lenny.
The community.
I was just trying to make it
go.
Simple for myself.
Yeah, pretty much any communication that you have, you want to go to the community and ask your questions there, I guess.
Hey, Lenny, this is Adam. I'm just
hold on. I'm sorry, Adam, go ahead.
Okay. On the community page, is it possible to put just a link that says leads, pros, media, that kind of thing that takes us to those pages? Because I think people are having maybe a little bit of getting a little disoriented. They're looking for these pages, not sure what they're called at the moment. I just feel that might be helpful. Just a thought.
Yep,
What do
we
you
have
think, Charles?
we have cheat sheets. So Lenny, I'll make sure Ashley gives you the link. They just give you the cheat sheet.
Oh, the cheat sheet, I have that.
Yeah.
Actually.
We can post that. We can pin that in the community, make it easy. But to Lenny's point, just think about what you're looking at. If you're looking at your leads, where do I put my leads? Leads.thecommonstead.com. Where do I find my pros? Pros.thecommonstead.com. Where do I find my compensation plan? Compensation.thecommonstead.com. Where do I find those media files? Media.thecommonstead.com. We didn't complicate them intentionally, but we can certainly put a cheat sheet together, but always try the first, whatever the word is, .thecommonstead.com.
Do you want me to post a link to that cheat sheet, Charles?
Sure.
So this is a cheat sheet that has all the links in one place. Might be good, kind of what you guys are talking about. There you go. Make a copy. Don't try and edit it. Rachel, did you have another question? Or are you good?
Yeah, and it's kind of something, so my husband works with a gentleman and he just got solar installed on his home. And he's having issues between the company that installed it and like Duke Electricity. To who's supposed to like check it to say, yeah, it's ready to go. Is there some way that I can like help him? Or is there even maybe a possibility to like get him converted over to like our solar somehow? Kind of a off question.
So let me
Getting
try
going.
and repeat let me repeat what I just heard. I don't know what I just heard actually. So because
Yes.
some customer already has someone, their husband's dealing with someone who already has solar. They already have solar.
His coworker just got solar installed, but is having issues with the company, and he's getting really pissed off.
Yeah, I mean, if it's already installed, it's kind of hard for us to do anything. Most
That's
likely.
kind of what I thought, but
yeah, I mean, good to go in and I mean, can't hurt to maybe get his electric bill, and you could probably follow up with maybe optimizers or something else if he needs them eventually. But yeah, we're not going to be able to help him with anything most likely.
I think this is just kind of that bigger picture. There are companies out there that all they're focused on is getting deals installed and funded, and they leave the customer. That again, you got not a reflection of who we are. This is why we are building the communities the way we are. It's unfortunate. So what I would say is a couple fold. Lenny talked about it, but if they finance the deal, then they need to get with their lender, and the lender will pressure their installer to give them whatever it is that they need, big time. If they didn't get financed, they do a cash deal, and they can't get in touch with that solar company, go to the BBB. Start making noise. Start really pressuring that installer to do their damn job. If they are getting a bill that's not truing up, in other words, they're having to pay more for the bill than they thought, that's where we can help them. We can come in and say, okay, if you need things to reduce your usage, we can help there. But we certainly can't help somebody who already installed their system, because that would violate warranties and all other things that we can't interfere with.
No,
Make
that's
sense?
great. Thanks. It just even helped to, use the idea if it's finance, get together with a lender to pressure them or go to BBB. I'm a helper. Try to fix things. So any advice I can
there's
get.
a lot of that, Rachel. Unfortunately, there's a lot of shitty companies.
That's what I hate.
Blunt. Yeah.
Now, Brandon actually put a good point in there. I mean, you could do whatever you can to help them get the issue fixed, even helping them make phone calls, things like that. But then the goal would be to get referrals. Like, obviously, he doesn't want to refer anybody to the company that he's using, but he's going to have referrals. So, great point, Brandon. Good job. All right,
That's
Chris,
great. Thank you for all that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Chris, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I was wondering, because I've worked with companies before for solar appointment setting. Do we have a list of qualifiers for the leads to get them through, to get all the information, or is it just bills? And also, what are the qualifiers?
Great question. As you become more seasoned, I'm not talking about you, but as everyone becomes more seasoned, you'll be able to get more qualifying questions in. For instance, credit is always a good one. If you can, that's the ultimate one. Like if you can get, we require 680 credit score to typically
Yeah,
do
I have
this.
a
You're going to
list
be
of
comfortable
them.
with that, that kind of thing. And that's kind of the main qualifier, having a power bill, being a homeowner. Okay. Credit would be one. Charles, can you think of anything else top of your head?
I was muted. Sorry. Yeah, all the above. So this is where I would highly encourage each of you to also go through the Solar Mastery book, because it's 120 pages, but what it will do is frame up everything, why you should be asking for these things. So it's one thing to say, hey, get an electric bill, kind of pre-qualify them in a sense. And there's all the terminology that you need to do that is in that playbook that we put together. So it's good to pre-qualify for credit so you don't disappoint somebody, but it's not a requirement. A requirement is a utility bill and an expressed interest. If you're just passing off a lead with no utility bill, that's just a lead. That's not a prospect. So the number one requirement is a utility bill. From there, if you read the playbook, it's going to set you up for success. It's going to have more of a reason behind why we need a bill. Because biggest question I know I get from somebody, well, I don't want to set a copy of my electric bill. Ever heard that?
Yep.
You don't know why. You don't even know why we're asking. So if you can educate them on why, you'll find that in the playbook. Again, playbook or playbooks.thecommonstead.com on it. Most importantly, that bill is going to tell us how much they use, so we know what size system we're going to have to produce for them. That's the most important thing. It's also going to tell them how much they're paying, so we can see if it makes sense for them to even consider going solar, because we don't want to waste somebody's time. If their system's not going to be, if we can't produce a system that's going to help them, we're not going to even take any more of their time. But go read through that playbook, and I think you'll find a lot of helpful answers on how to qualify even for credit. And you're not required, but if you do, what you're going to do is set yourself up for more closings, deals that are going to actually sell. Because if I ask somebody, hey, what's your credit score? That's offensive, right? But in the book, you're going to find out, hey, it just helps us understand a little bit more about you. Because we got a variety of programs that you could be eligible for. Would you say your credit score is above 700 or below 700? Above 700, you're golden. You're in great shape. Below 700, you might want to take another little probe in there. Well, we got multiple products for people who are between 6 and 700. Would you say your credit score is between 650 to 700 or below 650? You're never really trapping somebody to give you their credit score. You're giving them ranges, and that range lets the pro know kind of what direction they need to go when they're setting it up. So what requirements you have, utility bill, all the customer information. These other things are just going to really fine tune that relationship, make you seem more of the trusted advisor, and pass the baton and get a higher percentage of installs out of those relationships. Okay.
Yep. Absolutely. Is that okay, Chris?
Yeah, Mr. Lenny, I'll send you a copy of the list of qualifiers as soon as I can get to my other laptop. But I'm also used to getting credit scores over 600.
You're good. Not everybody can. So we try to give you ways of doing that without asking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'll send you over the list that I have from my other company, from the previous companies I was with.
Great. All right. Any other questions, guys? The floor is open. And I think as pros, also one more note on that. We're used to cleaning up is probably not the right way to say that, but like doing an additional discovery on top of your discovery. So a lot of us will be able to get those kind of questions asked as well. And we want you to get as many. The other thing, be real careful. This is for everybody. Be real careful if you have that one lead. Okay. Always be careful with one lead, because one lead is not going to get you where you're thinking it's going to. You want to, when I deal with people, especially who are connectors, who they have this one lead, and their whole, whether or not they pay their mortgage bill is based on this one lead that they're about to give you as a pro, and you're about to determine whether or not they're going to go into foreclosure with their family, not having anywhere to live. Okay, does this sound familiar, pros? Okay. when you're a connector, your goal is to get as many power bills as you can. Like that's another thing. Quality is great, and we want quality, and we want to be able to get everyone to a point where they're only bringing us leads that are great quality. I mean, getting 50% of the commission, you should do a little bit of work for that. But in the beginning, as you start out, just get that power bill and get connected with a pro and start some communication, get a relationship with the pro so you know kind of what their system is, and then let the pro do that rest of that work for you while you go and find more leads. Okay. Don't focus too hard on one lead. It's bothersome at times because it puts a lot of pressure on the pro, like, oh gosh, I got to close this or he's going to die. You know, any pros ever felt like that? All the time. Yep. And the same connectors will call you all the time and say, oh, I got one more, 3 months later, I got another lead. It's going to pay my mortgage.
Evan has a question, but I want to comment. Brandon, that's a great question. And what I love about this system on pros.thecommonstead.com is you actually have the calendar link. So the beauty about that for those who are saying, I'm not sure when they're going to be, go check their calendar. Same days are allowed if it's on their calendar. So to the pros, if you don't want a particular time blocked, you better block it out because they're coming to you one way or the other. As we start building out our connector network, that's going to be a good problem to have. Emmett, I'll shut up.
Being in the industry for 20 years, first, I salute you, Charles, for your leadership. And two, Lenny, yes, never fall in love with a lead. Come from a position of abundance, right? Not dependence. I would say that if you have an opportunity, pick your pro even before you talk to the customer in detail, right? Absolutely. And game plan. Who's this person? What do you know? Here's the 10 questions I want you to ask. Here's how you ask them. Role play it, right? Setting the table is so important as a setter, right, Charles? That's why we call them setters. But if you don't know how to set the table, I'm 55 years young with 4 kids and 3 grandkids, then you're going to put the fork in the wrong place or the knife in the wrong place, or you're going to forget, a cup or a glass. So just props to you, Charles, for setting up this ecosystem, and Lenny for really reinforcing that. Don't get too deep into the discussion. As I've trained tens of thousands of setters, I've told them just go this far. Here's how you talk to people. Here's their style. Here's your style. So just 2 cents. Keep your thoughts.
The best answer to any question is what Charles just said earlier. That's a great question. How do you respond? It's a great question. Lenny has been a pro in the industry for 7 years or a long time, hundreds of projects. I'm going to write that question down so that I can make sure that he answers that for you, Mr. Client. So would Tuesday at 3 o'clock or Wednesday at 11 o'clock work for you? And that's the answer to every question.
Amen.
Like every question.
Amen. Thanks for the kind words, Emmett. Oh, as always, and Lenny, yes, wonderful way to firm. And where do you find that information? All of those I call cushion, overcome, and close. That means go back to the script and close is in that handbook on playbook.thecommonstead.com. That's prospecting 101, but it has to do with how do you get that conversation to go to the next level. Work those books. Everything Lenny just said is what's in the book. It's a manual, not a book. So thank you, Lenny. Thank you, Emmett.
So another fair warning about leads is that when you get gross leads, like let's say you get 20 leads at one time, or let's say you're contacting 100 people, you talk to 20 people, you get 10 power bills, let's say. Okay, getting the power bill is just the first step. The next step is to get them connected on a calendar for an appointment. Okay, what I want you to be careful of is that when people give you their power bill, they're still not going to be in a position where, pros can help me out here, check me if I'm wrong, maybe it's just me. But when I was doing mass leads, literally if I got a power bill and an appointment, only 50% of those people showed up. So there's a little bit of more work you can do when it comes to those appointments once you have them set up, and be the person who's, we're going to send them out most likely. Everyone I think probably has reminders. Hey, your appointment's in 24 hours. Your appointment's in 2 hours. Get excited, But you as a connector, if you're able to make sure those people get on that appointment with that pro, we'll do the rest. That's the hardest thing for us is getting those people on the call. and we don't want to have people no show. That's not ideal. So, all right. Any other questions?
Yeah, Len, I put it in the chat for you, and I think we've all had different experiences, but for setters, what's your best practice when confirming an appointment? How's that work? Is it
Mhm.
text, phone
Yep.
call, follow-up email? Is it, what's your best practice? Teach us something.
I mean, everyone's communication preference is different. You know, when for customers especially, they all do different things. I've noticed. I actually sold 2 projects at the end of last year just over text message. Like, never met with the client, did the text message, sent them my video. They understood it. I had an appointment with them previously, but I followed up with them, and I just went through the text message. Okay, I'm sending you the paperwork right now. It's awesome, like awesome. But everyone's different. You got to be able to recognize, you know, you have your own personal preferences for communication, but other people have theirs. So, you know, my system, it's going to send out email reminders, and it's going to, or confirmations. It's also going to send out text confirmations. Every pro is probably different in that regard, but I'm sure they have something to that, you know, to make that happen. You as a setter, though, as a connector, you want to make sure that you have it on your calendar too, and you're following up with the people however you communicate with them. Okay. Text is phenomenal. It's surprisingly phenomenal, actually. I was surprised how many people, when you're trying to get leads, will answer text messages before they'll answer a phone call. Okay. Yep. Rachel, you had your hand raised for a minute. Did you have a question? Guess not. Anybody else?
Yeah, you
Questions?
kind of answered it in finishing. I was going to ask about it, as you guys as pros, like if you guys follow up, but you answered that real quick. And then maybe one question is, do you want us just like as a fly on the wall to be on that call with the client that you have set up with the pro, just to
Great
kind of to
question.
see like how it's done, or
Yeah, that's a great question.
and to kind of see where they are at in
Every
the
pro is
process?
different. Yep, every pro is different. Every connector is different. So, I mean, if you're a connector and you want to maybe become a pro or be able to close your own deals at some point, yes, show up for the appointments. Is it required? No, not at all. Like, I mean, I guess there could be some pros that may say they want you to be there, but I would say as a pro that I don't need you there. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not. So, you know, if you want to learn, that is the best way to do it. Just show up for your appointments that you set, watch what we do, start picking up on things we say, because you'll notice that, I mean, once you've done 1,000 of these things, and I think the pros will testify to this, you've not heard a new question. Like, there's no new questions most likely that I'm going to get that I haven't heard before. And I have a canned answer for every one of them. Okay. I have the main answer for every one of them. Okay. So yeah, take lots of notes, learn, start memorizing those things yourself, and then maybe you can work up to being a pro. You know, we were all new at one point, all of us. Even Adam was a new person at one point. So we understand how it is. And Matt actually brought up a good point. Be quiet when you're on the call. Like, it's not a place where you come and you want to try and sell. If you have good communication or good relationship with your pro, you might have some kind of, you know, if I know, like me, for instance, if you tag me as a pro and I know you've told me that you want to become a pro, be able to do your own projects, okay, we're going to go through a process. Okay, the process is going to be the first couple I'm going to close them for you. Okay, just you're going to watch, I'm going to close it for you. And then the next few, I'm going to engage with you. Okay, and I'll let you know beforehand. I'm going to engage with you during this. What questions, you know, do you know that you can answer? Because I'm going to say, Rachel, why don't you answer that question? And you go through the canned answer that you've learned on the other appointments that I've had. Okay. Then once we got 5 or so done, or 4 or 5, we're going to actually do it where I'm going to be there with you as a pro, but you're going to be closing the deal. So there's a training process in place. I think all of us on this call that are pros have gone through this before. Like I've trained dozens of brand new reps on how to close. So we all have that experience. It's just a matter of getting you the kind of experience that you need. I will tell you that although it seems more glorious to be a closer or to be a pro, I will tell you, if I had the means or the ability or the personality, skill set to be a connector, I would do a connector before I would do a pro in a heartbeat. Okay. Us solo pros, we are definitely glutton for punishment. We love the industry. We love the product, most of us. And we love what we do, but if you could just get leads, put them in the system, communicate with the pro, and then move on to the next lead, you can make a ton of money that way. And you have multiple pros that you work with.
That's my plan. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't, even as a connector, just want us on, just be a fly on the wall. So, but yeah, it's great. Eventually I'll get to, I just want to stay connector for a while, but yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
I think you heard somebody say that they're a connector. They can close their own deals, but they prefer being a connector. I think a lot of people are like that, if they really thought about it. There are some people who, again, it's like pride, I guess, or, I want to be this pro. Well, you know what? Us pros, we think the connectors are pretty dang cool. So, they're the ones that get the lead. That's the hardest part of our job, is getting leads. So that's why you get 50% of the commission, even though you're just connecting. Connector. That's the way it is. Yes, Bruce, your hand is raised.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Do we have any programs where, like people that have acreage and they want to put solar on? Do we have anything like that with the Commonstead?
So if you're talking about basically this is residential solar. So if you're talking about residential solar, then yes. Like if they want to get a ground mounted system for their house, that would be exactly what we would do.
No,
if you're talking about a farm, like you're talking about a farm.
Excuse me?
Talking about a solar farm?
Yeah. Yeah, like a solar farm.
Utility,
not necessarily for their home, but actually, and where I'm at is Ameren. So I'm in Ameren country.
Mm-hmm. So that's not something that we do now. Community solar is something that we do offer through the Commonstead. But yeah, it's not. And I would recommend reaching out to Emmett because he's got a lot of experience in that. Probably be a good idea to get up with him. But yeah, that's not something. And I'm in North Carolina, and I work with Duke Energy all the time. I know what their issues are. Like they want 50 acres. They want all this specific stuff to be able to put a solar farm up. And it's not something that there's a lot of money in either for us. So
okay.
Always good to stay with solar. I've done probably, I don't know if this is true or not. I've probably done more ground mounts than most people. Like that's kind of my jam is ground mount systems, but they're for residential customers, like just for their house. Right. A lot of farms do that. They'll have a farmhouse with a farm. As long as they have a residential meter, we can do that.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions? We're running up against the top of the hour. Appreciate you pros who are answering questions in the chat. That's very helpful. Thank you. Yeah, Carlos, good point, Matt. Carlos has a program for that. Matt, you can come off mute if you can. He's in Canada. He's sobbing still. Sorry. Don't worry about him. All right. So any other questions? We're coming up against the top of the hour.
Yeah, I have some questions.
Yep.
Yeah. Do we?
Good, Ernest.
Yeah. Which company we gonna using for the solar design?
So the designs are going through Subcontractor Hub. That's the process that we're using.
I believe last time I seen that for Open Solar, they're gonna design solar system. Is that right?
No. So Open Solar with the Commonstead is not what we're using for solar. You certainly can use that if you want to design your projects if you're a pro. But the Open Solar that you've heard probably through the Commonstead, is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Yep. So that's what that means is Open Solar as a company has taken all the products from the Commonstead and put them onto their platform, onto their proposals. So it's not something that we're using. We're not using them for solar unless something changes. We're just putting our Commonstead products on their platform. That's all that was about. For solar, we're using subcontractorhub.com.
So the subcontractors, they're going to design for us to doing it, or we're going to design it?
Designs?
Yep.
Yeah, that would go. It would go through the EPC. So whatever EPC, basically SubHub, we put in the information, we get the proposal, we get the contract signed, and then it goes to whoever the EPC is. Let's say it's Seamless Energy. They get it. They'll take care of all the design and all that kind of stuff. It's outside. It's definitely outside of the connector realm. The connectors is not something you want to worry about.
Do you know how fast they're going to be signed up? the design system giving us for the proposal?
I don't understand your question. I'm sorry.
Do you know how long it would take time to get a proposal?
Oh, we get proposals immediately. I'm sorry. Is that your question about proposals?
Yeah, the design from
Yeah.
design and proposal.
So proposal, that's a pro question. So it's for pros. But yeah, they're instantaneous. It's literally AI generated proposal when you first go into it. Pretty cool, actually. Yep. What's your other question?
It takes about what, half an hour or minutes?
You cut out there for a minute.
It'll be 50 minutes or half an hour?
Half an hour? No, instant.
Say again?
Like literally, when you first go in there, you request a proposal, it comes up with the design immediately. There is no waiting time. It's AI generated.
Is there a possible what we have for the utility bill in hand, and if we have go out to have an appointment with the customer, can we able to get a pre-proposal?
You're again asking a question that's a pro question. This is a connector. This means for connectors.
Okay, no problem. All right,
so
no problem.
just ask me that like separately. That'd be great.
Okay, all right.
Yep. Connectors typically, I mean, again, with connectors, make that relationship with your pro, and then from there, you can determine what the situation is. You might find a pro that can actually do same day appointments. I think that's what you're asking. All right, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Out.
Lenny, did my answer come in, or did I lose connection before everybody heard what I said?
I didn't hear you talk. No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I figured you were just crying. Figured you were just crying still.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If anybody doesn't know, I live in Canada, so I'm being harassed about the Canadians losing the gold medal hockey game to the United States.
Take off.
That's what that is. Take off, eh?
Yep.
So the thing that I was saying is that Carlos has a connection to a company that can do solar farms. He's connected me with them. I've got a couple projects going, but it's outside of the Commonstead. But Carlos can help you with that if you have any opportunities for solar farms.
Great. So Carlos Carrasco, he does what time is his thing on Tuesdays?
3 o'clock on Tuesdays, I believe. Well,
3 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah.
3 o'clock Eastern on Tuesdays. Carlos does a prospecting training. You definitely want to jump on that. Definitely highly recommend it. All right. So we're on top of the hour. If you guys have any questions, please reach out. Happy to connect with you. All right.